At kaugnay nga po ng pagsipa ng mga kaso ng COVID-19 sa bansa, makakausap po natin si Professor Guido David ng OCTA Research Group.
Magandang gabi po sa inyo, Prof. Guido. Ang unang tanong po, ito pong mahigit 32,000 na naman tayo ng kaso ngayong araw. Actually, isa ako sa mga nagtatanong, hindi ba ito yung peak? At kung hindi nga ito yung peak, gaano pa po ba tayo kalayo doon sa peak ng COVID surge? Ang taas na po ng 32,000, Prof.
Well, good evening, Mian and Ed. Unfortunately, hindi pa ito yung peak. Bakit? Kasi sa NCR, hindi pa tayo nagpi-peak, although we're hoping na malapit na tayo sa peak sa NCR. Pero ang nangyayari kasi, nagkakaroon na rin ng pagtaas sa mga iba pang probinsya, iba pang mga LGU. Outside NCR+, for example, sa Cebu, tumataas na rin yung bilang ng kaso. At malayo pa sila sa peak nila. Ibig sabihin, nagsisimula pa lang dumami yung bilang ng kaso doon. Sa Davao, tumataas na rin yung bilang ng kaso. Sa northern regions, Pangasinan, tumataas na rin. Meron din pagtaas sa Bicol regions. So yun, ibig sabihin, pag tumaas na itong mga ibang regions, dadami pa yung bilang ng kaso. Right now, we're projecting mga possibly 40,000 by next week.
Wow.
Pwedeng abutin pa. Mataas nga yan. We're not sure kung yan pa yung magiging peak natin sa buong bansa. Sa NCR, we're hoping na baka malapit na siya sa peak, 20 to 25,000 cases per day sa NCR. Pero, right now, there's still a lot of uncertainty dahil we're looking at the South Africa experience. Pero hindi naman necessarily na yung experience natin ay matutulad sa experience sa South Africa.
Well, sir, you're talking about 40,000 by next week. What about the end of the month? Are you seeing a higher number by the end of the month? Or maaari kayang bumaba na yan?
Well, it's possible, Ed, na may pagtaas pa. Pero kung magkakaroon na ng peak sa NCR, baka hindi na tumaas pa yan kasi alam naman natin a bulk of the cases will be in the NCR. So major contributor talaga yung NCR. In fact, ngayon, if we count yung cases sa NCR, Calabarzon, and Central Luzon, itong three regions, that accounts for 88% of the cases. So yung 12% for the rest of the Philippines. Pero pag tumaas yung rest of the Philippines, hahabol din siya na konti. Although, yun nga, kung nag-stabilize na at bumaba ng cases sa NCR, then that will affect the entire the overall numbers natin.
Prof, medyo nasagot mo na kanina pero siguro ulitin nyo na lang po. Paglabas ng Metro Manila, ano-ano pa yung ilang mga lugar na nakakakita tayo ng pagtaas ng kaso? Nabanggit mo kayo na Bicol, some parts of Visayas. And may we know why? Ito ba ay dahil sa pagta-travel ng mga tao nung holiday season, kaya tumataas na rin yung kaso sa mga lugar na to? Ano muna yung mga lugar, Prof?
Well,
outside Metro Manila.
Yes, yung outside Metro Manila, we're seeing it sa Benguet for sure, medyo mataas ng cases doon. Sa Pangasinan and parts of the other parts of the northern regions. Sa Bicol region, meron din, pagtaas na rin. And then sa Central Visayas, and then parts of Davao region. So ano yung dahilan? Well, these are usually yung mga major ports, tourist yung travel destinations. For example, yung Benguet is definitely a travel destination ngayon.
Sir, I was going to ask you, hindi kaya mas malaki pa ang impact ng maging surge sa probinsya than what we are seeing now in Metro Manila? If only because ang laki ng unvaccinated population dun sa probinsya compared to Metro Manila. In Metro Manila, we're hitting 91%, 90% vaccination. Sa probinsya, may ibang parts na nasa 9%.
Well, that's very true, Ed and Mian. Yung kaibahan, I think in terms of numbers, mataas din makikita natin sa probinsya. Ang kaibahan ay it's possible that there will be more hospitalizations and maybe more severe and critical cases, lalo na sa mga unvaccinated. So yun yung kaibahan. Sa Metro Manila, we're seeing a high number of cases, low number of severe cases. In fact, according to the data, maraming hospitalizations ay incidental lang. Meaning they get to the hospital for other treatment. Kunyari, pregnant, tapos manganganak, they go to the hospital, tapos pagdating doon, tinest sila for COVID and it turns out they're positive. So parang incidental lang. But they're really there for other
yes.
reasons. Pero outside, yun nga, sa mga provinces with low vaccination, that's a major concern because this will affect the number of deaths, probably lead to a higher number of deaths due to the lower number of vaccinated people.
Which I suppose also raises the question: should we be preparing for a surge in hospitals as well as in possible casualties in the provinces because of Omicron? I mean, compared to what we're seeing now in Metro Manila.
Yeah, I think we should be preparing the systems, Ed, because ang nakita natin dito sa Metro Manila, even with a relatively lower number of severe and critical cases, the problem is the overwhelming of the systems itself. So yung healthcare system, healthcare workers are getting COVID. Yung testing natin, it's being overwhelmed because of the high positivity rate that's causing delays in testing. In fact, narinig ko kanina sinasabi ni Mayan, ganun. So may mga delays talaga sa testing. There are long lines of testing and that will give us less visibility of the pandemic situation. That over 50% na positivity rate, for example, sa Metro Manila.
Yeah.
And this will happen, this will be exacerbated in provinces with lower testing capacity. Sa Metro Manila, we actually have high testing capacity pero overwhelmed na rin. And then other parts of the system will be overwhelmed. Contact tracing will be overwhelmed. And right now, wala pa nga yung latest Department of Health data. I mean, as of yung yesterday, hindi pa lumalabas. So yung aggregated data. So
yung data
maybe
drop.
sa data drop, even the data itself is getting getting bogged down, I think.
Bok, bago ka magpasalamat, pwede ba akong sumingit ng isa
Go.
pa, no? Give us some glimmer of hope, Prof. Guido. Ito na ba ang sinasabing tatapos talaga sa pandemya? Sa dami ho ng, it's either tayo or kaibigan, kaanak, talagang halos ganun na karami ngayon yung nahahawaan itong Omicron na ito na ba talaga yung huling surge at ito na raw ba ang tatapos sa pandemya? May ganyan ba kayong pwedeng sabihin sa amin?
Well, ang nagsabi niyan ay yung isang fellow namin si OCTA Research Fellow, si Father Nick Canor, Austriaco. Ako, I take a more pessimistic view or less optimistic outlook kasi we don't know yet about yung mga future variants kung yun yung problem Ngayon, we're already hearing about yung ihu, yung Delta Cron or something like that. I mean, initial pa lang yan I mean, it's it's just 1 month or 2 months after Omicron, may mga naririnig na tayong bagong variant I mean, syempre, we want na matatapos na yung pandemic, pero I just can't, we just don't know. There's a lot that we don't know. Pero what's the glimmer of hope? Medyo bumaba ng reproduction number sa NCR. That's the best news I could give.
God.
Yeah, from about 6, ngayon less than 5 na siya. So that's a first step. Kasi bago tayo magkakaroon ng peak, the reproduction number has to decrease. So it's decreasing somewhat, 5, maybe bababa to 4 or 3. Let's hope that will happen. And if that happens, we might be close to the peak in the NCR. Maybe this week, maybe next week, or 2 weeks from now. We're hoping sooner rather than later kasi pagod na. And tama kami, may nagsabi sa akin na news anchor na kung wala kang kaibigan na hindi pa na COVID, wala kang kaibigan. wala kang kaibigan. You're
batch fix na nga ang tawag namin na Prof. Guido sa mga may COVID ngayon kasi ang daming magkaka-batch na may COVID this time.
Yeah, yung mga people
okay na po.
Okay, Professor Guido David of OCTA Research. Sorry sir, pinapagpag ka namin for good news pero it's always good to end on a high note. Thank you sir. Ingat po.